Hello and welcome to K-Stop, Fuse's K-pop podcast. Hey guys. I couldn't remember how I usually kick
We're
these.
too hype off the free candy in the office because it's Valentine's Day as we record this.
And I'm joined by the only woman I want as my Valentine,
Aw.
Tina Zoo.
Hello. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. I hope everyone has, plans for this very special love-filled day, whether you're in a relationship, not in a relationship, dating,
somewhere in
not
between.
dating, single as hell. Like, I don't want to speak for Jeff, but I am, so I will be with my bottle of wine tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's going to be a great evening.
It is going to be a great evening. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a great podcast, a great evening,
Yes.
everything. And, yeah, so, we just want to say happy Valentine's Day to everyone first and foremost.
Yeah, and our
Thank you.
episodes, got slightly Valentine's Day theme.
Yeah,
As we
if you're looking at
go
the
on,
description, you'll kind of pick up on the theme a little bit. But yes, thank you guys. You guys are always our Valentines last week, as you know, it was the 52nd episode, our 1 year anniversary. Wow.
Crazy.
Incredible. So thank you guys as always. We're so happy. Here we go on season 2, year 2.
Season 2.
Here we go. I'm so excited. So yes. Just real quickly, last week we talked about Block B, Day 6, and SF9. It was a very boy band centric episode. And shout out to at Yeller Van on Twitter, Daniel Van Voren, who hit us up with the hashtag K-Stop on Twitter. Thanks for talking about Day 6 Sung Jin's stellar vocal. He's my favorite. And I think we did give a special shout out too, because the more I think about it, I mean, I kept listening to that song, You Were Beautiful. And yeah, just like how signature his vocals are to that group. So glad you liked it. Glad you liked the shout out. As you guys know, so many different ways to get in touch with K-Stop and interact with the show. Like Danielle did, you could use hashtag K-Stop on Twitter. We check the hashtag all the time. You can hit us up individually. I'm Jeff _ Benjamin.
And I'm at Hey_Tina with 3 A's.
Leave a comment on Fuse.tv. Leave a comment on iTunes. Or leave us a rating on iTunes. It only helps our stats, and we love it. So thanks as always. And then like I was just saying, we do, as you guys know, if you're a longtime listener, we have a poll of the releases that we review from last week. Last week, it was, like we said, Block B with Yesterday. Day 6 is with You Were Beautiful, and SF9 with Roar. And who ended up coming on top but none other than Day 6.
Really?
Kind of killed it with 71% of the votes.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm always wrong in my own predictions. Like,
Who'd
that's
you
who
think?
I voted
Block
for,
B?
but I thought Block B would win.
Yeah. I mean, it's trickier. It's like actually, basically everyone was a single except SF9, who came in second place, with 24% of the votes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think their fans are coming out of.
Wow.
And then, Block B kind of surprisingly took third place with 6% of the votes with Yesterday. So,
Wow.
I don't know. Are the fans saying something? I don't know.
Huh.
But in any case, we do have I'm actually really, really excited for these releases we're talking about today.
Oh yeah. They're very different.
They're very
from
different.
each other.
Holy moly,
Yes.
That's an understatement. But I don't know. We should just get right into it on this Valentine's
Kick it off with the
Day.
biggest release that broke the internet.
Twice. TT.
Oh my god. That joke is never gonna die. It's really not gonna die.
No, but of course the biggest release of the week is BTS with their new repackaged album, You Never Walk Alone.
Such a BTS title too.
Oh, you're so right.
Right?
It really is. But this is, of course, the repackaged version of the Wings album that we were such big fans of from last year.
Great album.
Yeah, and we, there were lots of things hinting that, a part 2 or something more was coming, I think one of the K-Stop listeners, sorry that we can't remember exactly who it was, but they pointed out that, the interlude was almost sort of hinting at, something more
Or the final
coming.
track was an interlude,
Oh,
right?
the final track,
Which,
yes.
I didn't catch that bit at all.
Totally.
So, yeah.
And And now, that Wings interlude is now the Wings outro. But we, of course, need to talk about the single,
Yes.
Spring Day. I had a really busy, I knew it came out, that Sunday. I had a really busy Sunday. I was like up at like 6 a.m. U.S. time. And, those come out like morning time.
Weren't you on TV that day, though?
Oh, my gosh. I was.
Jeff was off being famous on Sunday.
It was Grammy Sundays. We were talking about the Grammys on the morning shows and things like that. It was a very exciting day. Went to a Fashion Week thing afterwards. It was a very busy but exciting day.
Very glamorous. My Sunday was really lacked glamour. I was hungover on my couch,
which is a great Sunday too.
Yeah,
Don't get anyone wrong.
Very, very slow paced Sunday.
But it was a very busy Sunday, and I had finally gotten a moment. I was sitting down with my friend, getting a coffee or something. And we're talking about music, of course, and I just happened to pull up iTunes, and lo and behold, who's in the top 10 on US iTunes? Top songs overall. Next,
not TT.
Not TT. You're correct. It was Lady Gaga, Ed Sheeran, and then there's BTS with Spring Day. And I was floored. I was like, oh my gosh! Like I knew this was coming, of course, but I was like, oh my gosh! I'm so excited to listen. I can't believe it's doing so well. And they're the first K-pop group to get into the top 10 on US iTunes. Psy had done it. With his songs, but not a group. So this is really exciting. But in any case, yeah, they this song, I don't know, this song on first listen, I was really drawn to those it's very BTS, with those very soft but buttery vocals. I was really drawn to that guitar line that was in the song. It has sort of this rocky, feel to it, very stadium sounding feel to it, but at the same time, it's still like very tender and very emotional.
All their songs or at least the ones that are more of this kind of aesthetic, they're very cinematic sounding.
Yes.
Cinematic and soothing at the same time.
Totally. No, totally. And that's the thing too, is that, I first off just wanted to listen to it, get into the mood of it. I kind of, there's that line, that one English line that goes like, "You're my best friend."
Right,
and I was like, oh God, they're hitting me right in the heart chest right there. Oh my gosh. But no, I did look into the lyrics afterwards, and, while I think in the, it's very different than Blood, Sweat, and Tears, which was, talking, if that was them embracing sort of the darker aspects of life, literally blood, sweat, and tears, very dark and dirty things. This was them starting off acknowledging pain, and they're kind of talking about it feeling like it's winter inside of them. There's a cold inside them that they can't really lift themselves out of.
Right, you can definitely detect a sense of bitterness, forlorn, somberness.
For sure. And I think the video actually plays to this more about depression and feeling hopeless and things like that. But there's definitely this sense of what do I do, not knowing what to do, which is a message that I think a lot of people can connect to. But what I think makes this particularly universal and really awesome, and I think it's really special, is that, as the song goes on, that there's a sense of warming up and realizing things get better, and knowing that, spring does come, as cold and dark as it is right now in New York. It's pretty gross right now. There is something, the sun comes back and things come back around and things get good. And I think that's such a special, especially for their young fans who are dealing with, school and friends and parents and family things and lots of things.
Kind of overall growing pains, things that bring them anxiety and during adolescence.
Of course.
And, obviously youth is a theme that BTS is known for exploring.
Yes, 100%. So this, I thought it was really special, that they're also, it's not just about, not that their songs in the past did this exactly, but it's not just about being in love. It's not just about realizing one thing or another. It's also about the journey that one goes through. And I thought that was really, especially at this point in their career, where so many people are looking at them and so many people are watching them, this was like the perfect message. I thought this was like very well done, like for them as a song, first and foremost. Yeah.
Yes. I love the song from like the first beat, the first note. I was like, this is like
You're here.
I know. I was just like, damn, this is like really something that you would listen to just like when you're by yourself, just kind of thinking about things, or you're like, on a plane. And I know we talk about this a lot, how there are certain songs that are just meant for kind of like traveling or like
Yes.
exploration. And this definitely fits along that same lines sonically, at least for me.
100%. No, I totally feel that. Yeah, it's kind of like, I get this sense like when I'm listening to it and I'm walking, I'm kind of like,
Yes,
oh, it's like
yes.
time to be.
The pace is perfect. It's perfect, like, it really is perfect walking music.
It is. I'm literally like moving my body with
Yeah.
it right now. I know you guys can't see it, but yeah, it's like it's like that. And I didn't even.
I definitely prefer this over something like Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Oh, really?
That song was fine. It's just like personally, I prefer this kind of pace, this kind of sonically, this kind of vibe. It's just it's a lot more soothing to me.
Yeah, totally. And like they came with the banger, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. It was not like a straight up banger, in the most traditional sense, but it was a dance track, and I like that with the repackage they also did show something different. So yeah, but the video too in particular shows something I think really kind of different with them.
The thing with BTS is that their releases also stress me out because I know that I have to do a lot more thinking.
Yes.
There's a lot more thinking involved with BTS. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm to peel back all these layers. Some of them I can't peel back as much because I don't speak Korean.
Right.
So it takes a little bit more time for me to kind of dive into it, kind of try to understand it.
It's true. You do need to take the time. Yeah, they make you work for it. Just like right off the bat, and actually I had just a random friend who just kind of they're aware of K-pop. They know BTS and they did check out that song and they were really moved by that opening scene where I think it's Jungkook who lays down on the train tracks at first, and I was like, oh my God. I was actually very like taken aback by that at first too, because I was wondering like where the sense of hope was going to come in the video, and of course, the song kind of goes on. It seems like there's a lot of searching, a lot of or metaphors for searching, a lot of metaphors for soul digging, a lot of metaphors. To coming at, looking to other outlets, other people to depend on. There's so many cute moments where they're just sort of goofing off with each other, which I, staged or not, I thought it was really good. There's a lot of, emphasis on perspective and looking at things in different ways and how someone might look at it versus someone else. But by the end, I might, this is just my oversimplification recap of the video, but by the end they're all together. They're all kind, there's this chorus of voices. It's like BTS together forever.
And they made that journey together to from where they were originally, and they eventually got to that spring day. I thought it was really cool. I didn't know this, but you know how like that motel had the neon sign that said Omela?
Yeah.
So that's actually phonetically translated from the Korean term Omera, which I think means eternal youth. So that's why like when you go into that motel, that they're doing those like things that boys do, that kind of hitting each other, like pillow fights, and having basically a slumber party, right?
A cake fight.
Yeah. So that. Like you see them go in and out of that, try to leave it, try to not leave it, and
interesting.
when you step out of that, you see the train passing, and it passed by it in certain scenes. So I think that part or that element of the video really stuck out to me, because they basically put forth a literal box of youth, right? So yeah, I thought that was like a really, really dope moment. Moments.
And the idea, or at least how I sort of read that, was that like, you can stay in youth and you can have fun and you can, whatever, but you're not gonna, the train, if the train passes you, you're not gonna progress. You're not, you're not going to go anywhere further. You can stay in that hotel and
Right.
you can, keep having fun, but you're not actually going to get farther anywhere.
Right.
And like, that's kind of like one of those growing pains, like you were saying, of growing into an adult. There are certain aspects of this that you just kind of have to
Right.
buck up, whether it comes to career or thinking about family and relationships or, whatever it might be. There are certain things you got to buckle down a little bit and think
And I
about.
think they do kind of play on into the idea of choices too, because you a lot of the times you want to be in that comfort zone or want to stay in youth, but
Yeah.
that's obviously that's not realistic, but you also want to move forward. And I think there was this they said that someone online said that the train station, that the platform that he was standing at, that's actually not a passenger platform. That platform only serves is it pronounced freight trains or freight trains? Freight, right? Okay, I'm like freight. No, that doesn't sound right. So it's like only for freight trains.
Oh.
So basically, like that's like he can't get on board the train from that platform. Like I think that's a real platform that doesn't allow you to get on a passenger train. So he was left behind. So that's why he was walking on the railroad track. So I think the message they were trying to convey is that it took him longer to get to Spring Day, but he made it.
Yeah. Well, right. Or at that same time too. Oh wait, I don't know. Now my brain's like a little like going all over the place. I'm like, or if he just wanted to stay there, he would ultimately just get like.
He could have just stayed there, but then he would have just gone nowhere.
Right, or he would have gotten he got in the way of it. He would have gotten hit, and that would have been.
Oh wow, damn.
I'm just saying.
That got.
I'm just saying that's the mindset at the beginning of the song, right?
Yeah,
but by the end, he does take that journey.
Escalated quickly.
He does take that journey though,
For sure,
and he does make it in the end. So so yeah, wow. Okay, so that's really, and that puts a whole new twist on it.
There's like so much depth involved in
There
BTS's
is.
releases that it's actually like kind of overwhelming.
Right, and there's no way it's just a coincidence. I know some K-pop fans like to like stretch the.
Oh no, these things. It's like I feel like with BTS, they definitely thought every piece through,
which is really incredible. You don't really see
it's
that.
Very, very impressive.
Yeah, so I'm a
little bit kind of confused with that swing thingy.
The carnival thing.
The carnival swings.
Well, it says the album title, "You Never Walk Alone" on it. Did you catch that?
Oh, you're right.
It does. I wasn't sure if that was just supposed to be a visual moment or that was supposed to be something else.
Symbolize something else.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if anybody has any ideas.
Yeah, any theories?
Because when they went back to it at the end, right? Or
the group together?
Not the group. Somebody was there when it was like
I think Jungkook was there
and like abandoned. So maybe that represented like something in his life that it used to be bring him joy, but it's dead to him now.
Right, or just carnivals, amusement parks, very youth oriented, very like
true.
The past. He might be there, but that part of him is wasting away.
Right. Okay. Damn. Okay. Also, the shoes though.
The shoes.
They were holding a pair of sneakers, and then it was hanging on the tree, and I didn't know what to really make of that. I think. Well,
that's got to relate to. I felt like that had to relate to the idea of you never walk alone, right?
Right.
Like they're saying like, maybe it's almost like a message like, walk with us, we'll hold you.
It's just like maybe it's a culture thing, but here when I see shoes hanging.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say
it's a bit negative, and
I don't think they were going for
that. I was just like, I don't know, but that's
for those who don't know that usually
that means if someone died.
I thought it was a drug spot, like.
Oh, like I feel like when I see that in media, it's like, oh, someone was killed and like.
On a tree.
Or like if shoes are hanging somewhere.
Oh, okay. Because I'm thinking of when shoes are like hanging on like a street light. Pretty sure that means like it's a drug spot.
Okay, well I guess I'm assuming BTS that's not what they were going for. That's why I was a little confused because I was I was influenced by my own,
I think we
perception of
might
what
be
that
missing
meant.
a cultural context. But once again, if you guys know, please let us know. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of BTS fans listening. Lots of people who check this out have their own thoughts. Yeah, I'm overall though. I think this is a. I think they broke the YouTube record for K-pop videos in 24 hours again.
I think this is my favorite BTS release.
Really?
Yeah, it hit me so hard. The lyrics, I think everyone can in some way relate to the feeling of like they lost a relationship and they felt like they were left behind, but you have to move forward and progress in your life despite that. And you'll I think one of the lyrics was like the no darkness is forever, so
yes, it's very true.
like, so I like that the song was very hopeful.
Yes, and I think exactly like I was saying before. I feel like it was important for them to include that aspect, like now, versus, before it's fun to play in the dark side or fun to play in like the lovelorn side, but this one they really come full circle, and I love it for. It's probably like my top release too, just because it does
I love it so
have
much.
that like full circle, all-encompassing, multidimensional aspect. So.
I love it.
Did you get to listen? Do you listen to the new tracks at all?
I listened to the one after that on the album. Not Today. Wasn't a huge fan.
Really? I mean, it's classic fierce BTS in my opinion.
I think I was just so impressed by
right.
the lead
You
single.
didn't need a banger. You didn't need
I
the
was like,
banger.
I didn't need that.
You were
this
impressed
already
enough.
fulfilled,
yes, exactly.
all of my expectations.
Yeah, the outro did fulfill my expectations as well. By the way,
I need to go and actually listen to
it
the
like
other
gets
two
into
tracks,
this cool beat moments. It's like it's cool. But yes, of course, listen to what you guys think.
Long discussion.
Warranted
discussion.
Warranted for sure. Not just I mean, we got two other ones too.
Yes.
Who do we? Should we
let's lighten it.
I was gonna say
let's lighten the mood a little.
Let's lighten it before we go back to the darkness. we got my
Definitely
sons.
Light. You're his. I'm already about to leave the room.
No, just kidding. They can't be my sons.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think they can. No, that wouldn't work
Jeff
out.
was going on and on about how NCT has really changed
my life.
Yeah, his life essentially. We're like, why? This is perfect.
NCT Dream. They're here.
Dream.
You guys have remembered NCT really confused me for a really long time. I think I just didn't get it, but now I had my moment. I had my epiphany, and now I'm so on board. Everything NCT, including NCT Dream. With and they're here with a new single. It's called and I keep kind of screwing up the name, but it's called My First and Last.
Right.
This is the new single. It's from their first mini album. And actually they just won their first music show.
Did.
First
that's
NCT.
So surprising.
I know, first NCT unit to win a music show, which is kind of crazy, but
out of the 3 so far, that was not the one that I expected would win.
I know. It must be kind of a quiet time in K-pop maybe. I'm not sure. No, sorry, that wasn't meant to be shade. I mean, it must have just been like a, maybe they just had a
Maybe they just happened to. I don't want to say anything because I actually don't know who.
The points always change on these shows. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
but I was kind of
whom they were up against.
Not to say that because they had good competition. Red Velvet, INT, Block B. Yeah. So, but they are here, and I mean, I feel like
the bubblegumness was very heavy.
The bubblegumness was heavy.
Yes.
And, I'm always here for bubblegum pop, always a fan. But I don't know. I actually felt like this wasn't as Chewing Gum, that first single. Remember we talked about that one? Yeah. That one was a very sugary.
Yeah, like overkill.
Like not, I still enjoyed it, but it wasn't. I could see some people being like, this is a little too saturating for me,
Yeah.
But this I thought was a pretty nice blend. I liked the R&B elements that I kind of felt from it. That I thought they had really good harmonies, to be honest. It actually reminded me kind of early Shiny a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of people are actually saying that. Yeah.
Right, and I feel that.
But Shiny was definitely more R&B though.
Shiny was way more R&B.
Way more R&B.
But I get like hints of it.
Yeah.
I get notes of it.
Okay.
And I don't know. I just like did not. I mean, granted, I was excited for it because now I'm an NCT stan, as everyone knows. But
Oh my
I'm just
god.
kidding. I'm being slightly kidding, but I do enjoy it. I think it's a cool track. I listen to it a lot. There's actually another track on the EP called Dunk Shoot. You know, these songs kind of
Called
they
what?
Dunk Shoot.
Is
They
there a
remind.
comma in between there?
Nope.
Oh my god.
Dunk
Okay.
Shoot, Tina. I don't know. We kind of said this, you know, in private before we started it, but it reminds me of like Disney soundtracks. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
very happy, very, you know, sugary.
Yeah, like the song it was like I think the visual, which we'll get into, I guess now,
Yes.
just really messed it up for me because it was
Ah,
just it freaked me out. It
it
really freaked me out. 'Cause
freaks a
they
lot
were
of
just
people
like
out.
they looked like they were like 11 years old, and like they were like pining for like their teacher.
They were hot for teacher.
The whole thing was very like kind of just a little too pastelly for me. It made me
Uh-huh.
uncomfortable.
Okay.
But if I just listen to it without the visuals, yeah, you're right. It sounds like something from a musical that I would actually jam to if I was in that mood.
Yes.
So the song itself, like I actually really like Mark's parts. I don't know any of the other people. I'm like Mark, yes, a name I recognize because he's in every group. I feel
Oh,
like.
he is. Right, right,
But you
right.
didn't recognize him because his styling did a complete like 180.
I was about to say, you're right. I mean,
So I was like,
what
oh,
cl-
okay, I remember him. And his voice is very distinct.
yeah.
So yeah, I liked his part. The song, yeah, like it's not my personal, favorite, but I can definitely see myself, rocking out to it if I'm just like, you know, feeling like slumber party mood, like singing to a
Slumber
hairbrush
party.
kind of vibe, in my own
Yes.
apartment, but alone maybe.
Which is my mood at all
Uh,
times.
yeah, so I can see why Jeff likes it for sure. Video definitely not into it, like in the least.
Yeah. Uh, well,
Like
if I'm going to
all.
at least start with the positive, did you like the dancing?
No.
Really, even like the stuff
No.
on the floor and the floor
No.
routines. Whoa, Tina, this one was not a hit with you.
No. I don't know.
I agree, and I actually saw some discussion kind of online and stuff. Like the teacher line was a little creepy because I mean all these guys aren't. None of them are. They're all age 16 or younger. So if this woman is even, I can't exactly tell. I can't exactly tell how old teacher is, but like
Yeah.
if she's even 18, this is problematic and a little like weird. You know,
Illegal.
well, one illegal, yeah, two, but like even I know that they're trying to literally show that these kids are young and
Yeah.
they're like young, but like I'm assuming their fan base is mostly, young females as well. What is the point of showing these young boys pining after their older teacher? Like how would young fans get into that, or like unless they're trying to make them connect with young guys who might feel that same way, about, some older, what's the word? Unny?
Oh, Oni, yeah.
Or is that for women?
Oh, for women, yeah. You're saying Nuna for guy and older
Nuna,
girl?
yes,
Nuna.
it's Nuna, yes. Get the guys who just want that older Nuna, and they know it's never gonna work, but I don't, or maybe they're trying to get better grades.
Oh my god, like such literal shit. But like I'm just saying, like the Shiny already did the perfect song for an ode to an older girl that you're attracted to. Their first single, Replay,
Oh, right there.
which
You
is
go.
like the Korean title Nuna no Yepo. It's like
Yeah.
older girls so pretty or whatever. It's like that's the right way to do it without coming off as like creepy.
And it's weird that we're calling the young kids creepy, but it is creepy. Like I don't know. It's just like
Yeah.
it's really tricky.
I think it was also a little too kind of animated for me.
Okay, yeah.
Like the whole styling was very like
the circus,
circusy and
yeah.
the concept itself just I wasn't here for, and like everything like nothing matched because it was all like color blocking and
right.
like
I like their hair colors, but
I don't know.
that's sorta
man.
it.
I just NCT
Dream was probably the one that turned me off the most. I was just like,
for sure, yeah.
no.
It was just because it was so jarring and extreme.
Right.
I expected them to be polarizing.
Right. I mean, I've gotten into it, of course, as we all know, but but yeah, it's just kind of yeah, I can definitely see where the issues come into
For
play.
sure.
So, but hey, I mean, I can't believe I mean, not that I can't believe. It's very interesting that they won a music video or a music show. So something's working.
Yeah, I guess.
NCT Dream. We're very curious what you guys think. It's our first, I think, discussion on NCT Dream.
Right,
So
because we didn't end up talking about the other
right.
release. The
So
first release.
let us know what you guys think. We want to hear some thoughts about. Now we've gotten all the subunits so far out of the way on K-Stop. But last but not least,
We're going back to something a little bit more serious.
Back
Very
to the
more, a lot more serious.
Yeah. It's
Sunny.
with Counselor.
Yeah. So I actually did not realize that Sunny. I'm not too familiar with his material. But I didn't realize that he actually talks about mental health sometimes, right? And is very open with his own issues.
I don't think it's ever been this explicit for sure.
This is yeah, that's true.
Like very, very open for sure. And it's even like, in my opinion, kind of tough to call this like K-pop exactly.
Oh, this is not K-pop. The thing is, he's always been a rapper. He just because of.
Well, he was a JYP boy for a while.
Right. And like because of that, people, just tie all JYP, artists in the label to K-pop, but like he also did a lot of collaborations with K-pop artists. So he's kind of just like looped into the same circle, but like this is what I'm assuming this is what his focus is on. This is what he wants to do. The material that he feels comfortable doing and putting out.
Or otherwise, if he wasn't comfortable with it,
he is now.
This is an intense one to go with. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind. Yeah, I mean, do you want to like get into it?
Yeah,
like
it's like the whole thing. I mean, the beat is good. It's the same. I mean, the whole song's basically just like one kind of beat, like continuous beat that he raps over, right? So it's something that sounds like something you'd hear just like on a mixtape. Yeah. So the focus is obviously on the lyrics, and he is essentially kind of battling himself in the video and the song, and he's trying to seek help through a counselor's a psychiatrist for his mental health issues. But mental health is obviously a topic that is very, very kind of taboo, especially in a society like Korea. Yeah. Asian countries.
That's changing. I mean, how many times have we brought up this even just this show, which is so great. I'm really happy for it.
So in the song, he's stating that they just keep telling him just take more pills, and that's all you need. Pull yourself together. Why not just take more pills when advice that you seek from other people are just wrong advice, and it's just advice that's going to hold you down more, dig you deeper into your hole. Rely on yourself to pull yourself back out. That's what society. That's the constant response from society, right? Which is why mental health is such a difficult issue to approach, because it's the same freaking cliche textbook responses every time somebody asks for health, or help with their mental insecurities and stuff like that. So you can see in the video that he there was this one part in the video where the music stops, and one of his friends, I forget who, goes into his apartment. I think it might be his brother. Yeah, like the whole video, sorry, I forgot to mention, music video is filmed in like a kind of just what's the word, like documentary style? Kind of, where it's
very
like
real
home video kind of shit. Yeah, so he walks into his apartment and he's like get up, Hyung, or whatever, and he has pills everywhere, and he's like clearly like completely like discombobulated and doesn't know, like he's like totally messed up.
Do you think that was real?
I think it wasn't. I think the whole thing was they wanted you to think it was real, but I think it was based on very obviously
based on a true story,
very true events
or something. Okay.
And unless I'm wrong, maybe, I don't know. I just don't know why they would have a camera in that situation.
Right. I don't.
So I don't know. But
good point.
But I would want to think that it's as
yeah, and
close to reality as they could have made it.
all the bottles were a little too too nicely
like,
put out.
I don't know, but
You're right, but it probably is based on something real, something very real, because it just it felt real.
Yeah, and he was shouting like, you gotta get some help, and like, so he tries to phone in to the doctor's office to get help, and the doctor is essentially his inner demon. I think, you know, that voice. It was like a very deep voice saying like, do you want more pills? And he was like, I don't need more pills. I just need a schedule. I need someone to talk to. And the demon's like laughing, like, you don't need that. You just need more pills. And basically it's just a song, him trying to explain the current state of, I guess, or like what goes on in his mind when he's going through these issues.
Right. And, you know, I actually thought it was kind of interesting that the inner voices were actually in English too, because, you know, he's grown up, or he grew up in Atlanta. I mean, he was born in Korea, I think, and then, you know, they moved to the States for a while. But probably those inner voices, those voices that you create like as a kid, probably I'm gonna guess maybe that those are in English with him, because it's just kind of creepy and scary, and, you know, like, because it is a scary thing, you know, like when those voices are telling you, you know, because that's the whole issue, obviously, with mental health and those kind of, you know, insecurities and whatnot, is that you don't know what's right and what's wrong. And it's like a big, and, you know, I thought it was a very, you know, almost like too real, like portrait created of like what these kind of issues are like. And, you know, I think it was really brave of him and really awesome to do.
I thought it was a very bold statement. You know, he's very much like, fuck it, like this is it, like, y'all gotta like own up to the fact that this is what we go through.
Yes. And, you know, especially where, you know, I mean, it's always really tough to kind of judge like a celebrity's life, right? Because everyone thinks, oh, they make so much money or whatnot. But, you know, I can imagine, you know, especially being in the K-pop world where you have a big agency that has, you know, they manage all these artists, and more or less, it's not like the record labels here where you have multiple you know, everyone's on different projects and everything. More or less with K-pop, it's one group goes out, and all the attention's on one group, and then, you know, once those you know, then you get your next one in line, your next one. There's a lot of waiting, a lot of, you know, wondering.
It's a very kind of streamlined, manufactured kind of system, but like,
which is sort of a K-pop or, you know, they've never shied away from that, you know. Like, it's kind of like you need to have all your ducks in a row for this, and then they go.
Cutthroat, you know.
Yeah, it's so cutthroat. And if you're not, you know, making, if your release isn't, you know, more worth it than you know, if isn't as worth it as the others, they'll probably go ahead of you. And, you know, luckily Sonny's kind of like in his own label now, and he's doing his own thing, and, you know, he's probably in a better situation, I think. But I just, you know, I can imagine there's a lot of stress about, you know, having enough money, you know, continuing your career, being able to do what you love, supposedly, even without, you know, a big agency supporting. There's probably a lot of things.
Some of it might even just be personal issues that
and that's it
are
too.
not even tied to the industry.
Totally.
And, who knows where his actual mental health issues stem from.
Yeah, right. It could be biological, from family, etc.
Right. There's a lot of, you know, potential factors involved, but, you know, either way, it's just I appreciate that he made such a bold move.
It was. It wasn't what I was expecting. Yeah, I was not expecting this at all, to be honest. I was thinking, you know, I had heard a new Sonny sing. I was like, okay, you know, am I going to get, you know, pop stuff, you know, cool stuff, hard-hitting stuff? I wasn't sure. You know, remember Bad Year? What was that, like late? Oh, you were gone that episode. That was the 21 episode. But me and Mark reviewed Bad Year, and that was something about, you know, talking about the president scandal and how 2016 just sucked in general. But yeah, like he's just he's doing his thing now, and I'm digging it. I'm proud of him. So I thought this was cool.
I thought the whole video and the song tied together well. The video, like, surprisingly, I was really, really drawn to, even though it was very kind of eerie and
Right.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I think that's good kind of art, the art
For
that
sure,
like makes
for
you
sure.
uncomfortable. So, I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
But
Does but is it your favorite release of the week though?
no, my favorite's BTS.
Yeah.
That is that song I'm gonna be bumping, probably all week and through the weekend, and
Mm.
very comforting.
Well, makes sense. I think I have to go with
I
them
think
too.
yeah.
I gotta give it up. Yes,
So be
but
sure to
so
vote
yes,
for
be
your
sure to vote
favorite.
on Fuse.tv, our poll, and you can listen to all this music that we talked to about on this episode as well. So now it's time to get into our charts. Unsurprisingly, BTS has taken over the charts. So I'm going to do a quick extension. I'm just going to quickly do the top 10 songs so we can get a little more variety in
That's
here.
fair. That's
Coming in at
fair.
number 10 this week on the top songs on US iTunes, on the K-pop chart on US iTunes, that is right now. Number 10 is Yesterday by Block B.
Okay.
That was number 1 or number 2 last week.
Was it?
I
thought
think
it was like 5 or 4.
You might be right. I can't yeah. So it was definitely around last week.
So it's still holding strong despite
strong.
BTS's overtake.
Exactly. Number 9 is NCT Dream.
Oh my god.
They're back, babies. Don't you worry.
Everyone loves them.
They
apparently.
do. I remember like they were on the chart for a while with what's it called? Chewing gum as well.
Oh yeah. Almost said cupcake.
Yeah, I was about to say ice cream
I almost
cake.
said cupcake.
And I almost said, yeah. Well, we're just got desserts on the mind. Number 8 is Rookie. Rookie.
Lucky.
Ah,
Oh my
this song
gosh.
will not go away. Red Velvet. Number 7, this is interesting. Save Me by BTS.
I love how it just resurfaces with
Yeah.
every new release.
I feel like, every time BTS, it's like a wave. It just brings back
Yeah,
their
that's
other
such a good
material.
song still.
Because 6 is Fire by BTS.
Nice.
Number 5 is Rain, the new collaboration by Soyu
Oh.
and Baekhyun. Soyu from
The-
Sistar and Baekhyun
the
from
ballad.
EXO. Yeah, Valentine's Day treat. And here's how the songs for BTS worked out. Number 4 is the Wings outro Wings. Love that one. Number 3 is A Supplementary Story, You Never Walk Alone. This was sort of like it's the final track. It has a cool kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, almost like a very like exotic kind of sounding beat. Like it's very cool.
Ooh,
I like
okay.
it. It's cool
I
production.
didn't have time to peep that track though.
Check
have to
it
do that.
out. Number 2 is Not Today.
Okay.
And number 1 is, of
number
course, I'm not even going to make a joke. I was going to say it's Spring Day.
Not this time.
Not this. I can't even begin to. Yeah, and Spring Day is top 40 on overall songs still on K-pop, or on just overall songs on iTunes. Not Today is number 54. They're doing incredible stuff. I'm so proud of them. So congrats,
Yay.
guys. Really awesome job. And let's just, like we said, this is a Valentine's Day themed episode. So we're going to close this episode
Yeah, real quick.
by sharing some of our favorite K-pop love songs
Yes.
for Valentine's Day. Now, I feel like I almost have to give a little bit of a disclaimer because, I don't speak Korean. And it's a lot of those songs are a little more trickier to totally connect with, when it comes to, I know there's so many cool lyrics and awesome metaphors and things like that, but I'm going to do my best to kind of just explain why I love these certain songs.
All right, do it. Kick it off.
Yeah. Well, I feel like everyone knows I was going to, of course, mention an after-school song, but
I have an after school song.
oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Well, mine is Shampoo. Do you guys know that one? It's like it was like, it's a really, in my opinion, I mean, the thing that drew it to me initially was just this gorgeous like synth production, and like I love that producer. It's just a really cool song. But what I actually loved, so now I'm going to totally disregard everything I just said, but there is a really cool metaphor with this about the idea that they relate themselves as shampoo, and the idea that they will wash all over you, they'll be a part of, they'll be on you, they'll be like a nice fragrance you carry around, but if you do them wrong, they're gonna get in your eyes and it's gonna really hurt, and I'm gonna and you won't be able to get rid of it because no one can, that soap in your eyes, that sting stays for a while. So I just love that it's not something you usually hear from girl groups anyway. So I always love
it's
that.
definitely an interesting metaphor.
Yeah.
Well, I guess to follow up on your after school song, I really love When I Fall by After School. It was
You know that song? Wow.
do you know how long I've been listening to K-pop, Jeff? um this was on the same EP as Because of You. It was like third track or second track or something. And I mean, all my songs, I guess I don't need to explain too much because all of them are pretty much like, I'm so in love with you. You make me so happy and really feel good, love you, like googly eyes kind of songs. Those are all the songs I picked for Valentine's Day. So, yeah, I guess I'll just name them. But all right, your turn.
Great. Yeah. So this is kind of an maybe more of an unexpected one too. But I chose "Home" by Roy Kim. If you guys remember Roy Kim, like singer-songwriter, he was on like, I think he won like Superstar K or K4 or something like that. But he has the song "Home," and what I really like about it is that it's kind of like, it's just like, come be comforted, come, leave everything behind, just come home and be with me and just be who you are. And what I like is that, it could be about a lover, but it also could be about a friend,
like
or
a
companion, or whoever it might be, and I just love that idea that you can come home and just, be.
For sure.
That's true love.
That's true. This is a 2 a.m. deep cut. This is from their Saint O'Clock studio album. I think their first studio album. And it's the track "It's Me" featuring Glam. It's really fucking random.
Love
I know
that.
it's really random, but I knew I had to include a 2 a.m. song on here because all their songs are pretty much about being deeply in love or deeply hurt, but like, and I love their vocals, and I feel like this is one of the few songs where they're not like horribly depressed or like missing someone, and like "It's Me" is just like a real feel good song about I'm here for you, I'm the one for you. So I really love that song.
Nice.
Everyone check it out.
My next one is IU's "Friday."
Ooh, okay.
It was a collaboration with oh my gosh, I can't remember his name right now. But it's a really cute idea. Jang Yi Jung is his name. And it's just like, it's really cute because, well, I it's kind of quirky at the beginning. She's just kind of like, let's meet on Friday because I like Fridays. And then, but it's like, it's just that I don't even know why they would name it Friday, but it's like kind of two people just kind of trying to figure out why they like the other person so much. And that's so like one of the fun things about like a first love, or like a new love, I should say, is or like something you're very interested. It's just like trying to figure out what it is about them that you like so much, like trying to put your finger on it, and like you can't, and it's so fun.
Nice.
That's my next. Yes.
All right, my next one is, I'm actually gonna have to give it to Taeyong and Dean Starlight. I feel like that is like the quintessential kind of like high school lovey-dovey, I just love being around you, and you're like, it's corny, like you're my starlight, but that's the type of shit I like jamming to if I'm like in like a feel good, like kind of infatuation mood,
Love that.
I love that song so much.
Aw. This is like kind of a different take on love or whatever, but it's called "My Love" by Lee Sung Chul. Do you remember when that song came? He like made his big comeback in 2013, and I remember it like did really well on the Billboard K-pop charts, and I had to like look into it more. But it's really heartbreaking, but there's a sense of uplifting to it, and anytime I like look at the lyrics and stuff, I like get choked up because it's really sad, and it's like he's almost saying like it's too painful to say I love you, so like much less goodbye. So it's just like that really just like hits me in the gut, and like I know exactly, it's dark, it's deep, it's dark, it's really like I don't know. I'm really weird with love songs. I don't know, you guys. I'm like, trying my best here.
No, because I think some love songs are, even though they're painful or bittersweet, they're still comforting, and not everyone is having like a happy Valentine's Day week, it's
true.
like, so I guess like
Yes.
to go along with that kind of bittersweet, painful vibe
Yes.
or
Bring it to me.
whatever. I love Taeyang and GD's "Stay with Me."
Oh,
I
that's a
love
good
that song so much,
one.
and it's another thing. Like when you just listen to it without listening to the lyrics, it's very uplifting,
Yeah,
right?
right.
But no, it's very painful. It's like
Uh-huh.
you try to put up this front and try to not see me because you want to push me away because I hurt you, but I can see that it's just a facade, and like
Yeah.
it's like we're not good for each other, but let's just like, but I can't stay away from you or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's like it's a very bittersweet song, but I love it so much. It's very painful. Like
That's a good one. I
I
didn't
love
think
that
of that
song.
one. Oh, I really do like that song. And
I
I
think
feel
that's my
like
favorite on that album.
I think similarly, I think I liked it, or I thought it was like this uplifting,
Right.
collaboration sort of thing, and then it's like, oh shit, this is
Right.
a dark
GD does a lot
dark
of shit
side.
like that on his first mini album. I was like, okay, I'm
Mhm.
like gonna cry during all of these songs. Like GD's really good at those kind of bittersweet collaborations or bittersweet songs. So
So good, so good.
my last one is happy, I promise.
Yeah, I think shoot, where did my list go? It's I'm going to end my list with uh do I want to be corny? Do I want to end it with BTS
That's not
and
corny.
say, I mean, not corny, just like a little too on the nose after we just
Oh
talked.
no.
I mean, I think
It
Save
ties in
Me
perfectly.
is a really nice track.
Which one?
Save Me.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just I like that it has a really sentimental feel to it, and a really like it's like very lovelorn, but it also just like then breaks into like this like cool dance like moment, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I'm into that.
Okay.
Oh wait, I have one more that I
Okay.
need to also mention,
Right.
but you can go next if you
Okay.
want to.
Mine's well, this one's more kind of like I don't want to say shallow. It's just it's not like a deep song. But it's like a feel good like professing your love for someone. I love Big Bang's "We Belong Together" featuring Park Bom. Like I love it.
Oh, very
I
good.
love it. So
We belong
and
together.
I feel like it just like
Not Mariah.
that's the other one. You.
I know. I always want to sing that whenever I
I
hear
know. I
that,
know. I
though.
know. But yeah, that one's just like kind of cute and makes me
Aw,
happy. So
very YG.
yeah.
I actually have two more. Sorry.
Okay. I feel like you always have like 5 more songs than I do on my list.
No,
so.
no, no. Only two more. I I remember I forced you to talk about the song on a K-stop
Oh
once
my god, what is it?
because like, and I like think it's Hyomin from Tiara's Gold.
Oh, I like that song.
You do?
I think like
Remember,
I
like,
wasn't. I think I like either hadn't listened to it yet, or I thought it was a different song that you were talking
Oh.
about. But no, I do like it.
It's so gorgeous.
It's
I
a
was
beautiful song.
actually I've been randomly listening to it like a couple like for a couple weeks now, and my friend brought it up when we were talking about songs, and I was like, oh wow, like this
Yeah.
one's really good. Like like you're right, it's a perfect Valentine's Day song. It just kind of like wraps you up. I feel like I'm in silk when I listen to
it's
it.
very it's a good song.
And last but not least, oh my girls, Closer.
I have
Because
not heard that.
oh my, it's one of like the best K-pop songs of like the past couple of years.
Are they
It
gonna
is.
say of all time albums to be like
I mean,
goodbye, Jeff?
I mean, mic drop. It is.
Oh my-
I should have said it is mic drop.
I guess I've only heard kind of the title tracks, and I don't
Yes.
really like any of them. So.
Closer is really gorgeous, and I was actually really surprised that they were even talking about being in love and wanting to be closer to love at because they're so young. But it's just this really gorgeous synth, like very. I'm sensing a theme with my favorite songs. Very synth. If there's a lot of hard, gorgeous synths, it only makes for a better love song. And yeah, but that song is really, really gorgeous, and it like makes me feel like I'm about to fall in love. Same with a lot of their stuff, actually.
Well,
Windy
damn,
Day makes me feel like a happy boy skipping in love.
I feel like this has been a really roller coaster of an episode.
I know. I've gone through all my emotions.
We talked about some real deep shit, serious things, and
I don't even need a lover. I just need K-Stop. I just need K-Stop to get all my feelings out.
And we ended with, some generally feel-good songs for Valentine's.
Yeah,
week.
mostly, yeah.
Mostly.
So some of those that just, break our hearts. But we want to hear your guys' favorite songs. Please, love songs. Send us love songs.
Because there's so many.
There are so many. We know. There's so many soundtrack singles. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I didn't even go into that.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
There are. Oh my god, the theme song of, I don't know if I'm sure people have, but before Rain did Full House, he did a drama called Sangdu Let's Go to School, and that's one of my favorite K-dramas of all time. And the theme song to that song is called My Love, and that's very heartbreaking, but that's also such, if I had to pick a soundtrack song.
Love it.
Sorry, tangent. But
no, I love it. Yeah, please tell us your guys' favorite OSTs, favorite love songs, everything. We really want to know. And of course, we want to know what you thought of this week's releases. Yes. So hashtag K-Stop, hit us up, and hopefully it's been
have a wonderful Valentine's week.
Yes. Valentine's week, right, because this will post a little later. So happy V-Day week to everyone.
Eat lots of chocolate.
Eat lots of chocolate.
Pocky, whatever.
Yes. Donuts.
Mochi, I don't know.
Cupcakes.
Sweet stuff.
Everything. Yes. So we're gonna sign off from your lovers, Jeff and Tina. We'll say thanks for listening to K-Stop, and we'll see you next week. As always, this has been Jeff.
This is Tina. Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.